like, oh yes, hold your ground, sister. Hold your fucking ground, dude.
Yeah, because at first I was like, fuck, man, she's gonna give in and be like, yeah, take me back kind of, but then she like gave off that vibe of like, no, I'm an independent woman, fuck you, and I was like, damn, you got my respect,
All right, everybody, welcome to Hot Couch Potato, the podcast where we talk about video games and figure a way out. My name is Brent, aka Buwop. I'm here with my man's Rick, aka A New Perfect Day. What's going on, man?
Yo, it was raining this week, so good thing it only rained for a day, and I was able to enjoy that rain for a little bit. But
Dude, I just realized I'm fucking 0 for 2 the past 2 weeks, man. Usually on those openings that I do, I try to like say something that makes you laugh, man, or makes you chuckle. And usually you give me like the pity chuckle. You know what I mean? Like I'll say something super corny and you give me a pity chuckle. Last week I missed super hard, man.
Really?
I think I said like, welcome to Hot Couch Potato, where we steal time or some shit like that. And you know, like the Terrace House song. And I think like you totally missed it, dude, and just didn't get what I was saying. And I felt bad for like the first 5 minutes. I was like,
oh, really? My bad.
That one didn't hit Rick. And then this week's did it hit you too? Oh, dude, I need to rethink my life with these fucking openings, dude.
Oh, I think it's because I'm missing the coffee. Like I'm crashing right now.
But yeah, last week's hit, I was like, God, I thought I was so cool with this one too, man. And then like when I said it and just got no reaction from you, I was like, fuck, all right, never mind, man.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good, dude. No, you know what? Don't even give me those pity laughs anymore. You know, stay true. Hold true to what's really funny to you, man. Don't just
all
laugh
right.
because I'm saying it, dude.
Oh, shit.
Oh man, but yeah, it rained a little bit over here too. Maybe like Thursday and Friday, just when right in time for you to drive home from work or drive to work, which is horrible, man. I mean, on Friday, my usual commute is like 20 minutes, right? Because nobody's going to work on a Friday. It almost took me an hour to get to work on Friday.
What?
It's because of the rain, dude. Nobody knows how to drive in the rain.
Exactly. Nobody knows how to, especially, and that amplifies in LA. Like, fuck, man. Soon as one drop of rain hits somebody's car, they go freaking crazy. And just like, the traffic just amplifies by like, I don't know, a couple of hours. Because I don't know. LA and rain doesn't mix.
And it's not even like, I don't know. It's not that there was really any accidents or anything either. It's just people are driving that much slower. It's weird, dude. I don't get it.
Yeah, I think too when I was like driving in San Diego, it's just I think I have the LA rage. I was like getting mad.
Oh, dude.
Normally I'm super patient when it comes to like just driving behind people and like San Diego, you just have that relaxed vibe. But when I came down to San Diego, I was like, I caught myself. I'm like, why am I getting mad that this guy is driving the normal speed limit? I don't understand.
Oh shit, dude.
Oh, I'm converting.
You're carrying that LA road rage now, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's funny. But yeah, I hope it never rains again. I think we're in spring. I think winter's over. Don't quote me on that, but I think we're in spring. I think we're in spring, dude. The groundhog, whatever, saw his shadow, so we had that extra whatever of winter. I think we talked about that last time. That's such an archaic piece of shit, dude. How are we gonna base the seasons off of a fucking rodent, dude? That's so wild.
And I wonder who studies this rodent. Like, okay, we have to study him 365 days a year. Oh, he saw his shadow that one day, so it's spring.
I know, dude.
Like, what the fuck?
Somebody probably trains him to manipulate the seasons too, man. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, we need to go and delay winter or delay spring by a couple weeks. Let's train him with if he sees this hand motion come from us to go back into his hole. You know what I'm saying? Dude, that would be so wild. Fucking season conspiracy theories, bro.
Yeah, holy crap.
So this week in video games, not too much crazy shit happened. I mean, there was a few video game releases, which one we'll talk about a little later, but one that's at least piqued a little bit of my interest is Ni no Kuni 2. This one just got me hooked because I guess the story is you're trying to rebuild your kingdom, and it's not just going through the story and things just get built. You actually get to rebuild your kingdom, like place buildings and build walls and stuff like that.
Does it affect anything part of the story or like the way you position like stuff?
I know I've seen some like RTS gameplay, like real-time strategy stuff, so maybe it does. The only reason I'm excited is because it reminds me a lot of Dark Cloud, and Dark Cloud was like my shit. I platinumed it on the PS4 remake, just because, dude, it reminded me so much of my childhood. But to have like a game made for PS4 that kind of has the same game mechanics, I mean, that seems right up my alley. So reviews so far look great. I've watched a little bit of it on Twitch too, and that looks great too. I'm really into the art style. It looks like a fucking Studio Ghibli movie, but a fucking video game, dude. So can't complain about that. Have you seen anything about it?
Negative.
Would you pick it up, man? It seems like a action RPG, but I feel like you'd be burnt out on those.
I think it's because like when the first one came out, everybody was raving about it and how it was like a perfect game, and now I just have to get back into that kind of stuff and relook at starting the game from scratch versus starting it right away from number 2.
Mm-hmm. That's true, huh? There's always that burden of like, oh, I need to get the I need to get the full story of what's going on, so I have to play the first
Assassin's Creed.
Oh my fucking god. That's what hit me in Witcher. Witcher 3 was about to come out, and I was like, you know what, maybe I'm really considering going to buy Witcher 3, but I gotta know what happens in like the first 2. Like I think I played an hour or 2 of the first one, and the controls, the graphics, just everything is so old, dude, that I just like stopped playing it.
Oh.
And then we all know the fiasco with Witcher 3 or Witcher 2, where I forgot to loot a fucking Kraken and couldn't get this great armor, and that made me quit the game. So that burden is weird, dude.
It is, but I think like I'm the same. I never played 1 and 2, but when number 3, when I started playing, it kind of gave that backstory of hey, you're like this badass person, and you know your goal is to go and save this girl Ciri, who's kind of like your daughter. So instead of me having to think about like what's the past and how it relates to the game currently, it's more like I'm already badass and my mission is to go do this, you know? which is like a story in itself. So I was like, okay, I can enjoy this, because like, you know, it always bugs me when you start midway and you're like, fuck, I don't know why I'm here, what am I doing, and you know, let me play the old games, and then you know, the graphics is sometimes
shitty,
which makes it a little bit tough. So
yeah, I think especially for you and me too, we're all about immersion, so getting that full story just enhances our immersion in video games and stuff too. So yeah, man, that one I probably won't think of picking up for a while, but it's definitely on my list of a game that I'll pick up. New Overwatch character, Brigitte. How did you say it? Bridget?
I thought it was Brigitte.
Oh, there you go, Brigitte. She came out, and I think we've talked about it before. Like, what happens especially in competitive Overwatch? You know, like they introduce a new character that completely changes the balance of the game. Are they allowed to use her? Well, they're not. Talking to a friend of mine, a coworker of mine actually, who's really into the Overwatch League, and I guess you can't even use her in competitive mode on regular Overwatch when you're playing at home. So I think you have to wait until
What?
yeah, I think you have to
Until
wait
they
until the next season starts.
until they balance her out and see how things are going. I'm guessing.
Maybe. I mean, I've seen some glitches with her because she has a Reinhardt type charge, and I think that in conjunction, if you attack right after you do that Reinhardt charge, enemy characters just fly away, dude. They get blasted. You know what I mean? So people have been using that to kind of knock people off maps and stuff. Oh yeah, kind of like the Lucio push. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, definitely. I think that's a good point. Like figuring out the kinks and all that before they introduce it into something that really matters to people. You know, their SR or competitive play. So I think that's good. It'll be interesting to see Brigitte players in the Overwatch League. I wonder if she'll even be like useful like that, you know?
Mm.
'Cause I think there's
All I know is that when people were trying to play it, like everybody was trying to be her.
Oh, I know.
You have like
It's-
3
that's
or
what
4 healers.
that's what every new character, dude. Like you have to lock down, like hard lock that character really quick. You know what I mean? Or else someone else would just choose them, and you won't be able to play them ever. You either just get into the quick play games, dude, where everybody picks the same character. Remember when we used to be able to do that?
Yep. When did they get rid of that feature? Like about a year later?
Yeah, maybe. I think so. Because whenever they added like custom games or whatever that was, but yeah, it was a wild, wild west. Huh? That was even before they introduced competitive play. You could just have 6. I remember people were just using 6 Lucios on a team and just murdering everybody. That ultimate speed boost, dude. But yeah, what else happened? Sea of Thieves came out, early access, and then full release this week, and it looks like a flop, dude.
What?
Which sucks.
Did they review it already?
Yeah, I think reviews have come out for it, but I think the main complaint is there's nothing to do. You know?
I thought it was supposed to be like rating other players and their crew.
Yeah, but if not a lot of people are playing, then that doesn't really work. And at the
That
same
makes
time,
sense.
you know how the releases go for like MMOs or online games, right? Like servers have a hard time holding up. So of course, when this game came out, everybody jumped on to try and play with each other, and that crashed the servers. So a game that relies on having a lot of people online to play, but when a lot of people go online to play, the game breaks. That's fucking right ingredients for a disaster, for a flop, which is exactly what happened, dude. I mean, concept seems cool, right? You jump on a ship with all your friends, get treasures and all that. But what you have to do with the treasure, what you're grinding for, is what it's all about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it's all about cosmetics. And the cosmetics don't even look that cool. So it almost makes it not seem worth it. You're more playing for the experience rather than getting a reward. You know what I mean? And I think with a fucking pirate game, that's all you're looking for is the booty, right?
Yeah, I thought that's the main purpose. And then, like, if you have something really rare, then that's when the other players start trying to, loot it from you, which would have been a good premise. But if not a lot of people are playing, then I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what the main complaints have been so far. Is just that, there's not too much content there. Everything's pretty bare bones, and it really seems and feels like a beta release of a video game, So, and I think it's full price too, which is wild. So, I don't know, man. They'll have to fix it. I'm wondering why they didn't try to include some semblance or some type of a narrative or story into this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe have a story where you're trying to buy back, I don't fucking know, like your wife or something. She's in jail and you gotta bail her out, so you're hunting all this treasure. I don't know, something, right? Maybe that, or like, I don't know, put bounties on famous pirates, follow in their footsteps. They could have like a Jack Sparrow event, dude. Just team up with Disney real quick, man.
And
They need to add more like meat to the game rather than just getting treasure so you can get a pink polka dot bandana on your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fashion pirates.
Which that's all it is right now, dude. So that's interesting, man. It just kind of sucks because I was sort of hyped for this game. You know, this is one of those games where I was excited that there was that Xbox crossplay where you could play Xbox games on your Windows 10 machine. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This was definitely one of the games that I was looking forward to try and pick up and play on my PC, but now it doesn't even seem worth it, dude. So looks like the only game on that list now is State of Decay 2. And God, dude, I hope that's good too. I hope it's not another disappointment.
Wasn't that in beta for like a really long time?
The first one?
Yeah.
I think so. No, well, I think it got like there was a lot of hype around it. You know what I mean? And they never really made it clear if it was going to be multiplayer or not. And then you just heard about the development cycle of it, and you thought, "Oh, okay, this game isn't going to come out for another 3 years or something, right?" Next thing you know, it drops for like $15 on the Xbox 360, and you're like, "Wait, what?"
Wow.
I thought this game was going to be something epic, and I think they just
Gave up?
got overwhelmed. Maybe, yeah, I think so. They just got overwhelmed with, you know, the expectations of what the game could be, and really just wanted to come out with what it could come out with. And I mean, can't blame them. It was on Xbox 360. You know, now that it's on Xbox One, there's a lot more power behind the machine, and they have a lot more capabilities. So hopefully more of what they envisioned makes it into the game. The multiplayer aspect especially. Because I don't know why you couldn't make it multiplayer in the first one. I guess it's just a networking thing. But there were plenty of characters that, you know, more than one person could have played at the same time during the story. So we'll see, man. But that is so far, that's the last hope of this Xbox crossplay for me, dude. Because yeah, that's the last game that's the only game right now I would buy unless Sea of Thieves comes out with something crazy, man.
Like a super updated patch.
Yeah. See, maybe if you could like pimp out your ship or something, you know, like get black sails or some shit like that. That'd be cool. But it's all just like character based stuff. So who knows, man? Who knows? Someone is out there has got pirate ideas that's better than me, man. They'll be able to figure it out. Somebody at Microsoft should be able to figure it out.
Yeah, I think Assassin's Creed 4, they did it pretty good with the whole pirate thing. They, you know, instead of focusing on customizing yourself, you're morely focusing on building your ship, building it better, stronger, faster, more crew, and then when you have this awesome ship, it was like more like a warship, and you know you would go raid other castles and other ships and try to take down the legendary ships that are almost impossible to take down. So that was a really strong incentive for Assassin's Creed. That's why I barely touched the story for like I think 70 hours in.
Jeez.
Until after I like maxed out my ship and everything, and then I went to like oh yeah, I got a story I gotta do in order to finish this game. But yeah, you know, if they had that same formula, I think it would be pretty good. You know, just raiding other people with your Black Sparrow or not Black Sparrow, Captain Black Jack Sparrow.
The Black Pearl, is that what?
Yeah,
it's
Black
called?
Pearl. Yeah. That one. Yeah, you know, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, and I feel that. And I think, yeah, why wouldn't that be something you include? Like, pimping out your ship should be the number one priority.
Yeah.
But I think it's because that your ship is dependent on how big your crew is. You know what I mean? Because I think it's a max crew of 4. And if you have those 4 people, then the ship is obviously way bigger. If it's just you by yourself, you have like this one sail ship. If it's 2 people, then it's, you know, a little bit bigger than that. So, which kind of makes sense gameplay wise, because you wouldn't want to be playing alone and just have this huge ship where you have to bring down the sails, bring up the anchor, and steer the ship at the same time. You know, that doesn't really make sense.
You could probably have like NPCs to fill in each of those characters.
Yeah, that's a solution too. Yeah, but it's not built into this game like that for whatever reason. And now you know what? Because isn't there a Ubisoft pirate game that's coming out?
Yeah, they're trying to,
Dude.
profit off of that formula. They're like, oh, okay, everybody loved Assassin's Creed 4, especially the sailing
the ship part.
Yeah, bring it out. But I'm like, yeah, that would have been a great idea at the time, but I think we're way past that. We're way past wanting to sail that boat. I think we're now into the zombies apocalypse and all that era.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe from the lack of content or the lack of enjoyment people are getting from Sea of Thieves, from what they expected, now they'll see this Ubisoft pirate game and be like, maybe this isn't such a bad idea at all.
Nope. As soon as they see their reputation, their logo, they're like, nope, we ain't gonna be touching that game.
Yeah, man. Maybe. But that's interesting now. That's kind of like when The Division came out, right? That was Ubisoft too, but it came out right when Destiny was just having a rough patch, Like, oh, hey, the hype for this game wasn't going to be that crazy, but since Destiny's fucking up, let's all jump on board. So who knows? The effect has been there before. Ubisoft is kind of perfectly positioned to clean up these Sea of Thieves fans that have been disappointed. So we'll see. What if that's all just a strategy? What if they told Microsoft, hey guys, let's make competing games, but this time make your game suck so that our game is successful?
Whoa, that's a great strategy.
Next time you guys want to make a game, we'll trade spaces, man. Easy peasy.
Let's lower that bar so badly that our game would look so amazing.
I know. Oh my god, dude. That'd be so. And then by the time people realize that both games are crap, they've already spent their money, dude. Holy shit.
Oh man. Yep. And that's why the people leave the department too.
Yep.
They already got their money and they're like, yep, I'm out of here.
Yeah. I don't need to improve this game anymore, make any more patches for it. We got our money. Deuces, dude. Crazy. What else? Oh, sad news, dude. Toys R Us is shutting down all stores starting this week, man. Well, I think they filed for bankruptcy, so they're beginning the closure process of all their stores. And yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. I mean, growing up in the 90s, Toys R Us was huge, dude.
Dude, hell yeah, that was like my Disneyland, every once a month or something, or like just going to that store to see all the toys and all the new things. But it's like, now where do you go to visit this stuff? You have to just see this stuff online and people reviewing it on YouTube and
which I didn't know was a thing, dude. I didn't know reviewing toys on YouTube was a thing. Until like my niece was telling me about it,
Yeah.
Those fucking LOL surprise dolls, man. But anyways, dude, YouTube just has a whole set of subcultures that I've never dived into, dude. Like fucking reaction channels where people react to fucking everything, dude.
I think that's starting to pop up a lot now.
I wonder why, dude. Do you need to feel like, oh, hey, this person's reacting this way to, I don't know, the Avengers trailer, so it must be really good? Like, really? Like, you can't be a judge a character for yourself for what's good and what's not? That's kind of weird to me, man.
I think they're trying to, people are liking that whole reactions because they want to feel like, okay, everybody's liking it, so maybe I'll like it too. Like when the Super Smash Bros. Trailer came out, I thought I'd be seeing a lot of the trailer. But I was seeing most of YouTube video of other people reacting
Mhm.
to seeing that trailer. I was like, what is this? Is this like the popular trend going on? People trying to feel validated, just, like having other people see them react to something
Exactly.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah. That's so weird. I mean, the only ones I really saw those for was like E3 announcements. When Final Fantasy VII got announced, there were reactions for that. And that makes sense. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the fact that people are coming out with them for Star Wars Episode 10 trailer 4 from the Super Bowl reaction, like what the fuck, dude? Yeah, like
Yep,
the
exactly.
specific commercial that you're reacting to, like it doesn't get old. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, Toys R Us, yeah. So closing down, yeah, man. I mean, I became a huge Star Wars fan in the '90s when they came out with they re-released Star Wars in theaters, right?
Mhm.
I think it was called Star Wars Special Edition or something like that. Anyways, they remade a bunch of Star Wars toys too, so I started collecting them and buying them and playing with them and stuff. And my dad really got into it too. So during like summer breaks and stuff, we would go to like 2 different Toys R Us. I think that there was one in Chula Vista and the one in National City. We would hit both of them up like early in the morning on, I think Thursdays were the shipment days of when they got the Star Wars toys in. And we would go there like every Thursday during summer break. I would just walk around, my dad would wait around for the guy to bring the box of Star Wars toys out and like try to look for the, I don't know, red card Princess Leia or red card Boba Fett. If you ever collected Star Wars toys, you know what I'm talking about. And I would just be over there, playing the Nintendo 64 demos because that was like the only place that you could play fucking, what was it, Mario 64, right? I mean, I never owned one. I was playing Mario 64 and I would go, and remember you had to like rip the tickets for the video games?
Nah. At
So
Toys R Us?
yeah, Toys R Us, you couldn't like get a video game, or the games weren't locked up like on the floor, you know what I mean? They just had the box, and then they had tickets underneath the box.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
you
remember
rip the
that.
ticket and then you'd bring it to the cash register. They'd go to the back room, get the game for you, and check you out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember I used to rip all the tickets, dude, and just pretend like I'm buying everything, man. I'm like,
Wow.
oh, I'll buy this game rip. I'll buy this game rip. You know what I'm saying? I think my cousin told me one time too, he had this strategy of like, there was a game he wanted to buy but didn't have money for it. He'd take all the tickets out so no one would buy the game, dude.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man. But those days, dude, just those summer, I think it was like 1 or 2 summers, just going to Toys R Us every Thursday with my dad because he was working nights at the time. So he had the time to just go out with us and, try to buy the rarest Star Wars figures that were coming out, man. Those good times, dude. Good memories at Toys R Us for sure. Definitely a lot of playing demos, and that one in National City just has that specific smell whenever you walk in there, dude. It's just always the same. I don't know what it is. It's like homeless people and toys, dude.
What?
It's just
Homeless kids and toys.
homeless kids and
Oh.
toys. Yeah, man. Just that specific smell.
Kids get lost there. Yeah.
Well, yeah. What about you? Any specific memories that you have, man, about Toys R Us?
I don't know. I just always went there with my grandma, and I would remember exactly where all of the Nerf guns and the
Oh, nice,
video
dude.
game section is.
Mm.
So I would just always like cross over through the Barbie section in order to get to the boys section and look for Power Rangers, and it was always a blast just going to Toys R Us, but just getting one toy versus wanting to get all the toys.
Yeah.
And it was just that feeling of knowing that there's many toys out there and there's many toys I wanted, and having that feeling as a kid, I think that was very nostalgic of me. But in this generation, it's like the kids these days, you can't take them to Toys R Us anymore. You can't take them to the toy store down the street. It's like everything is online on Amazon. I was always excited to be able to like go to Toys R Us and just the drive there too was made it more exciting. But when I was like talking with my nephews, they always just wanted money for like Christmas or their birthdays, and they never had that feeling of like, oh yeah, let's go to Toys R Us and let's pick out these toys, random toys that I want. It's
Mhm.
more like, just give me money, I'll buy it online or I'll order it online. I'm like, what do you kids do these
I
days?
know.
So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. That's my nostalgic feeling at the time.
Yeah. It's weird. It's the end of an era for sure, man.
Yeah.
But at least I don't know. Maybe it's kind of selfish, but we'll never know the fit because you can't take your kids to Toys R Us, dude, and expect not to
No.
disappoint your kids, man. I feel like
Exactly.
every time you take your kid or a kid to Toys R Us, they're always gonna leave a little bit disappointed. Whether you don't buy them anything, so they just got like teased with all these toys in front of them that they're never gonna play with, or that you never bought enough for them. You know what I mean? They got one figure, but they could have had like two or three that they
Yeah.
wanted to. So at least you don't have to experience that disappointment, dude.
But yeah, I remember too, one of my oldest nephews, I would be like, okay, I'll take you to Toys R Us for like your birthday and
Hmm.
all, you can pick out one toy,
Oh
you know,
yeah, yeah.
and then they just had that exciting feeling of like, oh yeah, running around the store and like, oh, I can pick this and this, but they'll be disappointed that they can't get it all, but
Yeah.
it's just that feeling of saying, okay, I can be able to pick anything I want kind of feel.
And that's true. That is a thing too. Like, oh, your birthday's coming up. I'll take you to the toy store. Shit, you can't do that now.
Nope.
What do you mean? Oh, hey, your birthday's coming up. Let's check out Amazon. Well, that doesn't have the same. That's not the same. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's weird. I'm sad, dude. To make it even sadder, the founder, the person that created Toys R Us, died this week too, dude. So
Damn.
it's
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
that's
Maybe he's
sad.
just holding out just to see his dreams come and go, dude. It's fucking gnarly, man. But it will be missed for sure. Um, I went by the one in National City on Friday, I think it was Thursday or Friday, just to see if they were having sales, just so I can come up on some cheap video games. And sure enough, dude, there were like red banners all over the outside of that Toys R Us saying closing sale, everything must go.
Dang.
But it looked
That's
like
sad.
fucking Christmas Eve out there, dude. Like all the parking spots were taken. There was traffic everywhere, dude. I was like, all right, do I really want to go in there and deal with the madness to try and save like $3 on a video game I could just probably buy in the PSN store for cheaper?
Maybe the nostalgic feel, just walk in and be like,
Yeah.
this is the last time I'll ever see Toys R Us ever again in my entire life.
Last time I'll
Kind of
smell
feel.
that new toy and homeless kid smell, man. One
Man.
last time, dude. Yeah, maybe I'll go to it tomorrow. Just have that one last hurrah in Toys R Us, dude.
Yeah.
Buy myself a
Get
bunch
all
of
the Nerf
toys.
guns
I
and just
know,
start shooting other people. Oh.
I remember too, like by the end of it, when I was starting to get over like, so going to Toys R Us a lot with my dad, that made me get over toys fairly quickly, dude. Like I didn't want toys anymore after seeing all these toys and not buying them for myself. Um, so I remember like near the end of me getting over buying toys and shit, to try and like get us out of the store as quickly as possible, I would try to push the buttons on every fucking toy
Oh
we come across, dude.
wow.
Like the try me shit, because that shit is
Yeah.
huge. That is the number one marketing strategy for toys on a shelf, is a try me button. So I'm out there pressing every button, and my dad would get annoyed. He's like, let's get out of here. I'm like, all right. Oh man, fucking Toys R Us, dude. Crazy. Man, can you imagine if, like, I don't know, you went to a cryogenic sleep deep freeze, or maybe, I don't know, maybe you went to jail or something in like 1996 for 30, 20 years or something like that. You got out, the world is completely different, dude.
Yeah.
That
I
shit
was
is
like,
crazy, bro.
I saw an article like of a guy who went to jail for like 40 years or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then he like got out of jail, but then he was like feeling really miserable how the world changed, and he wanted to go back to jail in prison because that was his home, his most of his life, and the world is completely different.
Yeah. Yeah, like time stands still in there, and sometimes things just kind of make more sense in there, right? You get your 3 meals a day. You get to go outside for like an hour and go back inside. As long as you don't have to worry about someone trying to stab you or, have you drop the soap or something. You're chilling.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, just imagining if I fell asleep in 1995 and woke up in 2015, like how wild, how much of a culture shock that would be. I probably wouldn't be able to handle it either. It's just
You'd be
crazy.
like, Pokemon on the cell phone. What?
That's true, dude. Touchscreen Pokemon. What? I have to walk down the street to try and find this Pokemon. What? Crazy. What else? Oh, Devil Joe came out, man.
Woo!
Devil Joe was fun, man. He had little like mini, wasn't too crazy of a release, right? You actually had to find him on your own and do some research on him. I found him just through going to an expedition where there was a monster I hadn't found yet. So I just went to that expedition, picked up a bunch of tracks, killed him once, was a little bit underwhelmed. Then once I got enough information about him, we were able to do that special event, right? That just made you hate the what's her name, dude?
The handler.
The handler, yeah.
Her.
Just made you hate her even more because she just puts herself in a dumbass situation, right?
Exactly. Why is she even going out there? I forgot. What was the reason? I was like dumbfounded that she was still stuck on the back of the monster.
She was gathering mushrooms or something like that, dude. But here's the kicker, right? Is when you first discover Devil Joe, you're getting all this information. You're getting his footprints. I don't know. He dropped some teeth or something. And then you go back and talk to the researchers. They're like, okay, there's this new monster out there. We don't want anyone exploring the world until we find out what this monster is. And then your fucking handler just goes out in the face of this danger, starts picking up mushrooms off the floor. Come on, man. So, yeah, you get that special event where you get to fight Devil Joe with the handler on its back. I mean, you really get the full introduction to Devil Joe where he's picking up a Jagras, throwing at you, trying to hit you with it and all that stuff. And very fun. For an update, it was a little bit underwhelming, but for a free update, I think it's perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just in a game where all you do is hunt and kill monsters, to add another monster into the fray it's fucking awesome, I think. And the fact that we didn't have to pay any more for it is even better,
Yeah.
So a little bit underwhelming. How did you feel about the initial release of Devil Joe?
Initial release, I felt like a little bit underwhelmed. I overhyped myself. I was anticipating this monster, and then when we were first fighting it, I was like, oh yeah, it's everything how I wanted. But I think we grew too fast. We were like super ready for this, and we were just whooping the shit out of it every single match. I was just mixing and matching with all of our group of friends and playing with it, and we were taking it down so easy. And then I was like, you know what, let me try this by myself solo. Sure enough, I was just killing it super fast, and I was like, oh, I thought it would be like that threatening. So my reaction to the initial release was like, wow, this is it. This is, I'm already been ready for this monster. And
your whole life, dude.
Yeah, dominated super quick. So,
and that's what a lot of people said. But if you think about it too, this is something that they want everyone to enjoy, right? From the jump. And I think the minimum requirement is hunter rank. Oh, I won't even attempt to guess. But it's like, we've put in 200 hours into the game. Did I put 200 hours?
400 hours.
No, you put 400 hours into this game.
Yeah, I think 380 or something like that.
Hold on, dude. How
Hey,
many-
if you don't believe me, I'm gonna turn on my PS4.
Dude, I'm turning
right
mine on
now.
right now to see how much hours I put into this game.
All right.
Because I know, because we're like the same. I think you're like 4 levels higher than me.
Yeah,
Have I
but
put
I've been
4?
like, I wasn't really grinding for levels. I was grinding for like gear and making all of my weapons.
Okay, I think I have 200 hours. Yeah, oh my god, dude, that's crazy. Actually,
How many hours do you have?
I'm gonna check right now. But you know, for us who've been putting hundreds of hours into this game, we're at the end game essentially, right? Of Monster Hunter. There's people who haven't had a chance to put as much time into Monster Hunter like we have, but Capcom still wanted them to be able to play this new monster, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think that it was a little underwhelming for us, is because we're here, we're basically end game guys, we're doing raids in Destiny, right? When they just announced this new strike. So that's what I think it is. But of course, that all changed, right? With Friday, when they released that new event for Tempered Devil Joe. Holy shit, man. That was an adventure and a half, huh?
Oh yeah, especially when it first came out. You know, we were like, okay, here's the tempered version of Devil Joe, and you know, we're already ready. We beat the crap out of the normal one, super easy. And then, first time we went through it, it was like me, Russ, Scott, and Anthony. And we're like, okay, we died. You know, we wiped. Haha. You know, let's just get our stuff together. And then, you know, the next time around, we died again. And we're like, okay, this is kind of serious. You know, funny. You know, like, all right, let's get really serious. Third time around, you know, 2 hours in, we have not killed this thing. And we're like, what the fuck? You know, like, we were like prepared for this day. We had like all of the maxed out armor.
Exactly.
You know, we're like, oh my
Augments
god,
and stuff, dude.
yeah. So I was bringing out like all of my strong shit. You know, I had all my stuff. I went through like 50 potions or something like that in like one go, and I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. So finally, we were able to kill it one time out of the 2 hours, and then that's when the second round, you know, we were going through it again, and you joined in, and we were like, you know, kind of like snickering. We're like, hee hee, we're gonna see how your reaction is, you know, if we can beat it again. And then sure enough, like 2 hours later yeah, we're like, fuck, you know, like I was like, okay, maybe I wanted to beat it after the 3 or 4 rounds because I thought we got the hang of this, but apparently not. We didn't get the hang of nothing. So 2 hours later, we ended up beating it a second time. So
Yeah.
4 hours in, we beat it 2 times.
And that fight, and I guess you don't realize it, you know, when you're fighting him normally. He has a weird hitbox, dude. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
his body is pretty thick. He's literally just like a fucking pickle, dude. But
yep.
it's standing on like these 2 tiny legs that are way too tiny to be supporting his body like that, dude. And it's just kind of weird to hit him unless you're using a cleave attack. And of course, for me to use a cleave attack takes some time, and that's plenty of time. Devil Joe is like an agile motherfucker, dude. And every hit he hits you with in his tempered like form takes off like a third of your health, dude. It's so crazy, dude.
Yeah.
At least for me it was. And then his breath was hitting me everywhere, dude. Like he would do his little shoulder charge side swipe attack thing and be done with it. And even though his attack animation was done 2 hours ago, it still hits me if I go close to him, dude. It was crazy, man.
Yeah. It was like fighting a completely different beast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you think, okay, we mastered the normal one, but now for some reason all of his attacks are connecting, and when they connect, they, you know, take out a lot of our life. And you know, I remember one of the matches I had the vitality. I instantly put, right when I put on the vitality mantle, I was thinking, okay, I can survive that one hit kill, that where you like eat you on the ground and stuff. Well, I did survive it, but my vitality mantle completely disappeared, and I was like down to 1/4 of my life. And I have 3 vitality gems, by the way.
Holy shit, dude.
And I was like thinking, okay, well, if he's able to one shot that vitality mantle off, and I still have 1/4 of my life left, there's no possible way I would have survived that without that vitality mantle at all.
Exactly.
Thinking, man, this is ridiculous.
Dude, that vitality mantle usually lasts you like a minute or two, right? When you're
exactly
crazy, dude. What attack, man.
Yeah.
But I think it just made it that much more worth it. All the hype behind Devil Joe was finally realized with that tempered version, man. And then the fact that after we did finally beat it, we fought Uragon a couple of times, went back to tempered Devil Joe and just one shot the shit out of him was fucking amazing too, dude.
Yep.
And then we tried to go back to him after that and just got our asses kicked a couple times.
Yeah.
It's so funny because you know when you're dead against him. You know what I mean? It's like he has all these attacks, all these moves that like stun you, that make you stagger, and you could just see it coming from a mile away. And what makes it worse is like, okay, let's say Nergigante staggers you and he does a dive attack or a shoulder drop or something. You know you're gonna die. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's fairly quick though. What makes it worse for Devil Joe is his attacks are so like telegraphed. Like he rears his head up and then brings it down, and it takes like 5 seconds for it to happen. And all you're doing, I hate that, by the way, how your guy just lays there on one elbow. He's just like lounging on the ground, like, oh hey, what's up, guys?
It takes like, I don't know, 5 to 10 seconds to get back up.
I know. For that entire 10 to 5 seconds it's taking you to stand up, Devil Joe's fucking face is coming straight down onto your face. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
So crazy, man. But no, I mean the tempered Devil Joe is brought the excitement back to the game. I don't know, it kind of makes me want to go and fight Kieran again, man. The tempered Kieran.
Yeah, I went back and fought like a lot of dragons after fighting like Devil Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh yeah, I don't have that adrenaline rush of the tempered Devil Joe, you know? It's like, fuck. That shit was crazy. Oh, it's 345 hours I've been playing this game.
Jesus,
so.
You have 221 hours and 2 minutes, dude.
Holy shit. I thought you would have like around 300.
No, 221, man. That shit is wild. It's still, I feel like it's a lot, dude.
But it is a lot. Anything above 100 is a lot to me.
We've officially played this game more than we played Starbound. And we were on fucking Starbound all day, dude.
Every day. Yeah, I remember, dude. Man, I think we've already maxed out this game, like, you know, value-wise. We spent, what, $60, $70 for this game, and we got the most out of our money.
Dude, 200 hours. Yeah, almost 10 days worth of entertainment. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. And you know what is like, after this, I'll probably still go back and play it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what makes it crazier. It's like there's still a drive to play it. And it's, I don't know, it's just fun, man. It's fun to play. And soon there's going to be that, you know, spring festival that we talked about last week, and just more content for us to go through. So I don't know, man. Monster Hunter, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah, and it's crazy too. Like, you know, I played the Charge Blade, maxed it out, and then I got down like nearly all of his combos and everything. And then I was thinking, okay, maybe I'm reaching that limit. And then as soon as I pick up a different weapon, I'm just reinvigorated of wanting to craft, wanting to build this strong whatever build that I want to do. And you know, it's just like, dang, it has that potential of, you know, if you want to do something else, you know, that's already 20 plus hours guaranteed for you to keep playing this game.
You got to play another 300 hours to master the Gunlance, dude.
Hell yeah.
Like, I got to play another 300 or 200 hours to get used to another weapon besides longsword, dude.
Yep, exactly.
But yeah, man, it's crazy. And then the rewards for that tempered Devil Joe quest are pretty good too. It's supposed to be some stream stones and hero stone, like hero and warrior stones, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So the first time we beat it, I got 3 warrior stones and 1 hero stone. And I was like, oh, luck is on my side. I'm gonna get something for the longsword, right? Because I'm hurting for these longsword augments. So I appraise it. First one, warrior longstone. I'm in the money already, dude. Second one, warrior longsword. Let's fucking go. Third one, warrior longsword. Oh, dude, this hero stone has definitely got to be for a longsword, dude. I'm with it. It's for a fucking like sword and shield, dude. I was like, oh my god. My feelings were so hurt, dude.
You used up all of your luck on those stones.
on those three. But I mean, it ended up working out because, you know, it turns out the Devil Joe equipment's actually really strong. So I just used all those augments for the new Devil Joe longsword I have. So yeah, man, good times in Monster Hunter, and they don't look like they're gonna be ending anytime soon. I'm already just thinking about what they need to do now is do the layered armor, but with everything. You know what I mean? Just so we could do like a little fashion hunter type shit, you know?
Yeah, they shouldn't do that because I'd be so invested. 100 hours guaranteed of mixing and matching everything.
That's true. Yeah. Because there's some like armor sets where, you know, I want to wear them, but the stats just, I don't need them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like the Teostra one. Well, Teostra's all right. And I have it, but I wouldn't use it to fight against like tempered Devil Joe. You know what I mean? But I want to look cool in my red knight armor with a cape. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just hoping they let you do that with the Dante stuff, because I want to wear that red trench coat, dude, and just fight shit. That'd be crazy, dude.
Dude, I would wear that with my samurai armor. You know, like those Ronin that wear that. Yeah, that would be pretty sick.
You gonna bring back the charge blade when Dante comes through, or what?
Yeah, looks like I'll have to. Like, you know, I love the charge blade. You know, that's still my main top weapon. It's just I've gotten everything I wanted for that charge blade. You know, I maxed out whatever I want, but you know, that's why I've been playing with the gun lance lately, because I haven't really seen too many people completely focused on the gun lance. You know, they build it and then they're done with it. But I think, yeah, if the Dante stuff comes out, I might have to do the charge blade with at least with Anthony.
Yeah, man. So, which is another, you know, 20 hours in the game of trying to build that charge blade, dude. Fucking Monster Hunter, man. I was just watching something the other day too, where it was like, it looks like Monster Hunter World, but it's this giant serpent, like beating up on an Anjanath. I'll have to look for it. I'll send it to you, dude. But it looks like a raid, because in Monster Hunter, there's raids. That someone was telling me about. Either Danny or Dustin was telling me about. There was raids. Maybe it was Ryan. But yeah, man, where you can just go through, and I think there's 8 people fighting a huge monster. Some people are shooting cannons. Some people are down on the ground fighting the monster. I can't wait for something like that, dude. That'd be fucking great.
Yeah, if they happen to release 2 maps at the same time, I would cry, because that's another 200 hours.
Dude, for free? That would be wild, dude. That would be unprecedented, dude. Unprecedented. So yeah, we're kind of leaking into games we're currently playing. So other than Monster Hunter and A Way Out, which we'll talk about here in a second, dude, what else have you been playing? Anything else, man?
No, not really. Actually, maybe I've been trying to get back into my Switch game for like the Shovel Knight.
Oh, okay.
I just turned on my Switch and like tried to get into that, but then, you know, Monster Hunter calls with the Devil Joe, and so that's why I was like, I gotta talk about a little bit more about that. It's just playing with the gun lance is fun. You know, when you're playing with Charge Blade, I had the Ergon set. integrated into my build, which allows me to block unstoppable attacks essentially.
Mhm.
But they had like this animation of being pushed back. It's like very small, but you can see that you're getting pushed back when you get hit by something extreme.
Mhm.
And what I've noticed that when I went to Gunlance and I brought over the Uragan set into the Gunlance build, so I have that unstoppable attack thing.
Mhm.
I went to go fight Kieran, and I was like thinking, okay, I'm gonna get my ass whooped because like I'm very immobile. But
Mhm.
apparently, having that on something like the Gunlance or the Lance with that kind of shield, dude, it was one of the easiest fights ever. So like how blah 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 blah. You know how he has those lightning attacks,
Mhm.
and I was reading online that the ones with the lines, they go back and forth, so they can hit you from the back and the front,
Okay.
apparently. But with the Urgon set and the shield, I don't know if it's just with that set, I was able to block every attack, even if the attack was hitting me from behind. So all I had to do was just hold my shield up, and no matter if it was coming from the top, from the sky, from the floor, from the back, I was blocking it regardless.
No way.
So
So you just
yeah,
turtled up, dude?
yeah, I was completely turtled up. So basically, Kieran kept coming to me, so I didn't have to chase him, and I would just keep poking at his face. And then when he would do his attack, I didn't have to worry about anything with whether I had to put down a Thunder Mantle or not.
Mm.
It was just completely, dude. It was like the easiest fight, basically.
Wait. So when you're blocking,
uh
does this take up stamina if you get hit?
not really with this gun lance.
What?
Like I
So you
have
could
the
just
30.
block infinitely?
Yeah.
What?
Like it wasn't using stamina at all. So I was like just poking away all,
Holy
with the
shit.
gun lance.
Uh-huh.
So I was like thinking, man, this is like the ultimate defense.
Mm.
Because with the charge blade, when I get hit, I still have the guard skill,
Mm-hmm.
which reduces the stamina, but it takes about like 1/10 of my stamina. But if if I keep getting hit, you can see my stamina going down. But with the gun lance, I was like, my stamina was barely moving at all.
Jesus, dude.
And all I had to do was just poke, shoot some shells, and just turtle away. And I was thinking, yeah, this is great. So I brought it over to Devil Joe, thinking it was like, oh yeah, it's the same. But Devil Joe is unpredictable. Like at least the tempered version.
Yeah.
Stupid tail swipe when he's blind. It's just infinite tail swipe.
Mhm.
Just like three of them. But yeah, so that's why I got super invested with the gun lance. It was because of that Kieran fight. It just made me realize the world is infinite if I just do not move.
Just keep blocking, dude. That's crazy, man. Yeah, I need to get into another weapon. Well, I guess I have into Insect Glaive.
Insect Glaive.
Yeah, I need to investigate more builds because I basically just use the same build for everything. But I need to integrate that thing I was talking about yesterday, the Leap of Faith, where if I get hit in the air, I don't get knocked down. My attacks continue. And all
Oh yeah,
I need to
you have a lot of people that hit you, or
Yeah.
the roar
fucks me up. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
I need to mess around with some builds for that. Yeah, what other weapons are there that I would use, man? It's not really. I think the switch axe is pretty cool, man. I like that attack that you guys do with the switch axe, where you like hang on to the monster's leg and just stab him and just have those explosions.
and that
come
those
up.
exploding.
Yeah,
things.
dude, those are pretty
Yeah.
sick, dude. So
Yeah, I say jump for it. Like, dude, I thought I would never pick up the gun lance ever,
Mhm.
but I said, you know what? Since no one's picking this up really a lot, so might as well play with it.
Mhm.
Sure enough, it's like, fuck, this is one of my fun play builds that I like to use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so maybe I'll invest, man. So yeah, a lot of Monster Hunter this week. But as far as this weekend, we've been playing an equal amount of a new release called A Way Out. And dude, we've been talking about this game for a while. I think since it's been announced, man. It was just a story-driven co-op game, where once it was announced that only one person had to buy the game and two people could play it together. Not just couch co-op, but online too. I think that's what really sold me on it.
Yeah,
And
I
it,
was skeptical. I was like,
dude,
"What? Are you sure I don't need to buy this game?" And I was like,
and it
"Oh, I
worked
see."
like a
Yep.
charm, dude. It was so great. I mean, the
Yep.
game was, I think, $30 too, so it wasn't a full priced game. And I think overall, Rick and I, it took us maybe 6 hours to beat it.
Yep.
Um,
Good memories.
but yeah, I had a bunch of discount codes and some PSN credit left, so ultimately you spent like $20 on the game, which I think is perfect. If it ever goes down to 20, then this game is a must buy. But yeah, I mean, I start up the game. I go to online co-op play, go to the option to invite a friend. I invite Rick, and he downloads like a trial or demo version of the game, and next thing you know, we're playing this game together. A game that only I own, but we're playing it together, dude. Full game.
Yeah.
How crazy is that, man?
That is pretty crazy. It's like, man, I don't know, where did they get that idea
yeah,
from, but it's working.
yeah. That's so revolutionary to me, man. And yeah, dude. I mean, the game itself is great. The story, the guy that wrote it and directed it, I think he's like a movie director and writer first and foremost. And dude, for me, I'm all about the story in video games, so that helped out a lot for me, man. The story was just great. The gameplay was all right, dude. It was a lot of quick time events, a lot of
Yeah.
mashing buttons, dude.
My arm is tired.
But dude, I know. What were we doing, man? Like you said, the first half hour of playing the game, Rick and I were just in jail working out, dude.
Working out, trying to get buff.
Just doing dips and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're thinking like, oh yeah, this might increase our stats later, for maybe next time. But in reality, I guess it does increase your stats in real life. Your arm is all tired.
I swear. So there's this one where you're in the yard, and I'm talking shit to some people in the prison yard, and this one guy goes, "Oh man, I could do 19 dips." It's like, I bet you can't do 20. So of course, I gotta do 20 just to fuck him up real quick. Bro, by the time I got to 18, my arm was so tired, dude. I was like,
Yeah.
oh god. I barely made it to 20, dude.
Yeah, because it slows down like drastically after like
So
17 or something like that. And
Yeah.
it's like I was like thinking, oh yeah, that's not bad. Let me try. Maybe I can beat your 20 record.
Mhm.
And I was pressing it. I got to like 20, and I was like, all right, I got to get to 21. I barely reached 21, and I was like, all right, I fucked this up. My arm is tired. It's already locking up.
Dude, it's so good, man. It's so good. So yeah, I mean, the story is about two guys that are in prison. They're in there due to different circumstances, but it originates from the same person. This one guy, kind of like a crime mob boss, just had an effect on their lives that caused them both to be in jail, essentially. So it turns into like this whole revenge story, which is great. And to avoid any more spoilers, I think that's the most I'll talk about the story of the game, at least. But the way it's portrayed is fucking amazing. I mean, yeah, you can tell this guy directed movies because the cinematography is awesome in it as well. One of the biggest parts that stood out to me was, once you escape, spoiler alert, once you escape from the prison, you end up in this hospital, and the cops catch up with you in the hospital. And whereas you're probably into your 5th hour into playing this game, and throughout that whole 5 hours, it's split screen. I'm controlling one character on one side of the screen, Rick's controlling one character on the other side of the screen. But in this hospital scene, it focuses on Rick for maybe 2 or 3 minutes and how he's dodging police and stuff. And then it'll switch around. The camera will go around into another room, and it'll follow me around for like 2 minutes, and just going back and forth. Dude, that was really
Yeah.
a special, like, profound moment for me, like, in video games, in like media in general, dude. Like,
Oh wow.
that's awesome, dude. Like,
Yeah.
nothing else has ever done that. It's so crazy, man.
I like that one 2D side scrolling part. You know, that one was pretty
Oh
interesting.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like a
yeah.
different perspective of how games can be portrayed.
Hmm.
You think it's one universal way of to play a game, but they're
Hmm.
like, you know what? Let's just mess around for a little bit. And,
Yeah,
you know, that blew my mind.
yeah. Because at the same time too, for majority of the game, or no, for like the entire game, right? It's traditional third person, like over the shoulder, like camera. And then yeah, in this one scene in the hospital, straight out of Old Boy, straight out of like Daredevil, even. I'm walking, I'm side scrolling. You know, the perspective of the camera totally changes where I'm side scrolling down a hallway, just fighting 10 dudes at a fucking time, dude, coming through in this hallway. It's fucking great, man. That was a
Yeah.
great scene too. They do that one other time too when we're chasing that guy in the construction site, how it goes over the top view so we can both. And I remember too, it was so funny. You know, we're so used to playing over the shoulder view. The camera changes to kind of an isometric, you know, just an overview of the whole area so we can chase this guy and ambush him. For the first maybe like 5 to 10 seconds of this, I'm running into a wall. Rick is running into like the totally opposite direction of where we're supposed to be going, dude. It's just like that shock of like, oh shit, the perspective totally changed on this, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing, dude. But yeah, I mean, I definitely played it mostly for the story. Like I said, gameplay wise, I'll admit it was a little bit lacking. It was a lot of quick time events, which usually I'm not too much of a fan of, but since the story was so great and the graphics were awesome, especially where it needed to be in like character faces, you know, since it is so
Yeah.
story driven, like they made it count where it needed to. So no, it was good. And the whole time, you know, Rick and I were playing this game, we're just waiting for that plot twist, waiting for that plot twist. And when it happens, oh my god, dude, it's so good, bro.
All I know is my arm is extremely tired.
I know, man. You know what'd be funny? You know how you're working out in the prison?
Uh-huh.
What if you could like level up your button mashing stat? So it's like you can
Easier to
fucking-
press it later
Yeah,
down the
yeah,
line.
yeah. Like those times where you're like, I don't know, if you're hanging off a ledge or something, you need to mash the button to get up. It's like easier for you and shit like that.
Oh, maybe that was right because I don't know. Like I was working out with everything. If you didn't see me, I was doing push-ups, pull-ups, dips while you were talking to the other guy. I was like, I'm getting my character ready, dude.
Oh man, yeah, that's true. Huh? That's funny. Maybe it did like have a like hidden effect or something like that.
Especially at the end. Maybe it did.
Maybe. But no, yeah, that game is great fun, and you know, you're just going through the story. And what makes it even funnier is there's just these random mini games and random interactable things that you can mess around with, either by yourself or with your co-op partner. You know what I mean? At one point, Rick and I were fucking playing horseshoe, just fucking throwing horseshoes around in a barn and shit, while we distracted the owners of the place. I mean, we made our own rock band in this game. We played fucking Connect 4. I was like,
boo.
I was fucking hitting a baseball for like 2 hours. Well, trying to hit a baseball for like 2 hours. Dude. Like, there's so much like small stuff that you can do in this game too that kind of just, you know, just makes you feel like the world is more alive, right? Because it's much more organic with all the stuff that you can interact with. There's even like an arcade machine where you play a video game in a video game. Somewhere along the line. So yeah, man, I think this game was a success. I think I rated it an 8 by the time we got done with it. Rick rated it a 9. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a pickup, man. Definitely a pickup. If it ever goes on sale for something less than $25, I definitely suggest to pick it up, man. It was worth it, and you can experience it with anybody. Only one person out of 2 people has to buy it, so it's awesome, man. We streamed that, by the way, and recorded it, so we'll try to put those up, man, on Hot Couch Potato Plays. It was a fun playthrough. I think we played it over 2 sessions. Um, yeah, man, there's just a lot of ridiculous shit happened when we were playing this game, dude. But it was a good time. So we'll put it up so we can show our experience finding a way out, dude.
Yeah, almost getting caught at the very last second. Almost messing up at the very last second.
Oh man, yeah, it's too funny, dude. But yeah, so this week we're gonna go and talk about our favorite MMO RPG class. Now there's what, 3 basic ones, man? There's tank classes, healer classes, and DPS classes, right? I mean, within those you can get specifics on like different abilities and stuff like that. But from your experience from playing MMOs, dude, and RPGs in general, what's your favorite class to use? I think I already know the answer though.
You may know the answer,
Okay,
but
okay.
Okay. So basically, it's usually the physical melee classes, DPS or not DPS, tanking classes. I always like to turtle things up. I always like to get the best shield. My latest class in one of the was a Tree of the Savior. I was a tank class, and I just nobody really thought about doing this, but all I did was focus everything onto my shield, without looking into attack. So virtually I was doing almost like crap damage, but I was able to take and absorb so much damage from different monsters, many different monsters than normal. And when we like farm rooms, instead of farming like just one room, I would like try to do multiple rooms at a time and pull everything, and then everyone would just unload everything. What I've noticed too is like my main class in Final Fantasy is tanking, and I always try to strive for that class. But which kind of bugged me is my cousin saying, you already know that magic is superior. And I would always say, no, it's never superior. But then deep down inside, I'm always ending up falling back on a magic class base class. So what I've noticed is when I was playing City of Heroes, I was trying to go scrapper for a bit, and then I chose like ice, melee, so I can get in with the mix of magic. But in reality, I fell back down to a controller which was mainly magic based, and I was thinking, okay, maybe just this once I was picking a magic class. But then I went back to Tree of the Savior, and I ended up picking another magic class, which happened to be an ice class, and I was just dominating with this ice class. I was killing people left and right in PvP, and I was like, fucking shit, dude. Like, am I this class? Am I falling back in this class? My favorite class, basically, is the tank class. That's all I can tell you. What I fall back on is the magic class, DPS class.
Specifically, if you have ice magic or anything in your game.
Exactly.
That is Rick's forte, dude.
Careful, because I put slow as shit on that stuff, so you won't recharge nothing. You would freeze, and it's a horrible feeling.
I think what I always fall onto is like a melee DPS class that has like decent survivability. You know what I mean? Like in City of Heroes, I was a scrapper. But you know what? No, that changed. In Final Fantasy 14, I was a black mage through and through, dude. And black mages have like 0 survivability, dude. Like,
yeah.
When something gets through the tank and the melee DPS and gets to me, I'm fucking dead, dude. And you know what? That's like the class. That's the opposite of my favorite class. This is a class I hate the most. Is glass cannons. Like City of Heroes, there were the blasters and stuff like that, and oh man, I hated being a blaster, but I loved trolling blasters by attacking something and bringing it from
to
melee
them.
range to the blasting range. Just all the AoEs fuck them up and they die and stuff. I think it's because when I was first playing City of Heroes, one of my first experiences, we were doing, I think, the Hollows. You know, the underground of the Hollows. It might have been Ada, the mission with Ada, the king of the trolls or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know. I don't know if anybody was with me. I think I just joined up with a team on there, and there was this fire blaster in there, and he kept talking shit like the whole time. He's like, "Hey, Scrapper, how many kills do you have? That's my kill. Oh, that one's my kill." And what he was doing, he was sniping all the kills. Like we would do majority of the damage. Just because he was in the back, he could just throw a fireball and kill something like in 2 seconds. So I was getting pissed. I was like, "Really, dude? Blaster is just talking shit this whole time." Anyways, we get to Ada, right? And he has all these AoEs. He has like a foot stomp. He has these roars or whatever. And I remember the tank like getting knocked back or something to the blaster. And Ada did his stomp and killed the blaster immediately. And no one rezzed him. And I was like, huh.
Oh, wow.
Blasters might be assholes. So that's why I hated blasters, dude. Like that, they just have the biggest egos because they can do the most damage, but they're soft as shit and can't do anything by themselves. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, glass cannons, my least favorite MMORPG class, but anything with like decent survivability and mainly melee attacks is what I go for. Blade and Soul, I played with was it the longsword? Oh no, I played assassin, I think, or ninja or whatever it was in Blade and Soul. So there was a lot of trickery and diversions and counters that I had to help with my survivability and that too. I'm trying to think what class I used in Invictus. It was is that what that game's called?
Vindictus.
Vindictus, there you go. What was it?
I remember you using like a melee-ish class, I think.
But I had like a magic orb too, right? Wasn't there one that had like a long sword but had a little orb that could shoot around too?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's been a while since we played that game. But yeah, just use a melee class there too, man. So I'm really mainly all about the melee class. Damn, it carried over into Monster Hunter World too. Using a katana, dude, essentially. Just like City Heroes, dude.
Oh yeah.
What about you? What's your?
Good thing there's no magic in here.
What's your least favorite class?
Mainly magic.
Wait, what? But you keep falling back and using that.
Because it's so powerful. That's what it bugs me when my cousins will say, just stop using this, magic is powerful. And I'm like, no, I'll prove to you. That's why I made a scrapper back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a healing scrapper broadsword. And I would take on many enemies at a time, like a lot of NPCs, because they had that moment of glory, which was good back then, but they nerfed it. But then I fell back down to controller again. And, unfortunately, I was doing pretty well in PvP, which sucked. Because I was like, I'm a controller. How can I do this? And then when I turn on like Hurricane and Ice and all that, I was fighting 3 people. And they couldn't hit me because my Hurricane was on and my Ice was slowing all of the attacks so their attacks wouldn't recharge. So I was like, dude. Magic.
That's funny. Yeah, I think since I like being in the fray so much, that range stuff kind of bugs me.
Oh yeah.
I will say one of the most fun classes, I think we were talking about this the other day a little bit too, was the Mastermind, man, in City of Heroes. Or City of Villains more specifically. No one's been able to recreate that, dude.
Oh, like controlling perfectly the minions and
Yeah,
stuff.
like creating minions, summoning them up, and having them attack for you. I mean, even your controller class. Didn't you have a Jack Frost or something that you can summon up?
Unfortunately, I couldn't control him. You just summon him, and he just attacks anything in vicinity.
Oh wait, that's right.
Mastermind.
That's right, dude. Because he would always
Yeah.
aggro everything, and we would get pissed. And you would
Exactly.
have to
So
put him
I would
down.
never summon him. So when I summon him, he would be like for one boss, and then after that, I would like desummon him. But
Mm.
Mastermind, you can reposition him.
Yeah.
You can
Make
tell
them
him to stop
passive.
attacking.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what made Mastermind super great.
I remember I fought one in the arena one time, and he had robots, I think. And I remember, dude, I was fighting all these robots at once. You know what I mean? Threw down some caltrops, did all my AoEs. I killed the small ones, and I finally killed the big one. You know what I mean? And I was finally ready to actually fight the Mastermind. And the whole time I was thinking to myself, holy shit, this is another character, or this is another player controlling all this stuff. This isn't a bunch of like NPCs I'm fighting. This is actually another dude I'm fighting controlling all this that's going on, dude.
Yeah.
So crazy. Needless to say, by the time I got to him, he already summoned more robots and killed my ass. And I think like his second ability was traps or something. So I was getting fucked up anyways. He had turrets and shit. So I was fucking blown. But yeah, man, they need to make something else like that, dude. I know the counter argument was, there's necromancers in D3, but I don't know, it's not the same, man, because it's kind of like your Jack Frost, right? You summon them and they just attack shit.
Just randomly attack shit.
Yeah. You can't really control them specifically in what to do. You can't make them do dance moves, man. You can't make them do emotes, dude. You can't make them. Weren't you able to make your guys like talk and shit too?
Yeah, I would make like some of my robots say, each one would say something different, but mainly like I would have like one robot go up to a person, slap that person, that other player, and talk shit, and then I would have the other like 5 robots go behind him and slap him too and talk shit. Oh man,
yeah,
those macros were amazing.
Another game needs to do that, right, man? But yeah, dude, it is funny how we always fall onto like our favorite classes whenever we start a new MMO, right? Like that's what initially think every time I start a new MMO. I was like, okay, what's the most like a scrapper that I could get?
I know, that's why I kind of fell for the charge blade, because like I can go attack and defense, but now I'm like gunlance. Ooh, the shield is amazing,
dude. And then you have your what do you call it? What are those called? Your element charges in the charge blade?
Elemental charges for the charge blade.
So that's like your magic, dude.
Damn it. Dang it. I'll never charge up my charge blade.
Yeah, dude, can you imagine in Final Fantasy if they introduced like a mastermind class? That would be crazy, dude.
Oh yeah, that would be pretty fun, especially like making them slap other people.
Yeah,
that's my main goal, my main priority. And dance on their body, all of them dance.
That would be cool. Like you could summon a bunch of Moogles to fucking kill somebody, dude, or
and they're like dancing in circles.
Yeah, dude. Playing their music and shit, dude, just floating around. Or summoning a bunch of dragons, or summoning a bunch of I don't know. There's man, yeah. If anybody I have hope for, Final Fantasy 14 that can do it, dude. That'd be really cool. They could integrate in there. But yeah, dude. Shit, I still really miss City of Heroes, man. I think we talk about it every day. But yeah. So what do you think about Terra coming out on PlayStation? Do you think you'll pick that up?
I played Terra for a little bit on PC, and I was like a Lance kind of person. But the thing is, I wasn't really too invested into that game. I think it was because I didn't really know where I was going, and my coworker who I was playing with at the time, he was the speedy type. He would just like rush through the story really
Mm-hmm,
fast, and he wanted me to rush through those stories. So I don't know. Maybe I'll give it one more shot if it's free, and maybe things have changed. If not, then I'm just gonna stick with what I know and like to play.
mm-hmm. Wow. So you're saying you would play it on PS4?
There has to be a lot of people playing it.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to play that game by myself. That sucks.
No, very true, very true. No, I wouldn't play that by myself either. Monster Hunter, you can kind of get away with playing by yourself, but it's not as fun.
Yeah.
That's for sure. You don't have everybody using up all your continues.
I died like 4 times in that 4 hours. I was counting. Not to point fingers, but I was counting.
It wasn't me, man. I only died. I was dodging my ass off, dude.
Yeah, I think you died the least, and not to point any other fingers.
Oh man. Okay, on to our quickfire question. I think I worded this fucking poorly, dude. But what games should have it the same as A Way Out, where one person downloads the game or one person buys the game and they can play it with anybody else online for free? What other game do you think would be that much better if it had that feature?
Mainly multiplayer games, I think you would be invested in, and because like if you play like RPG games, it'd be kind of boring if other people are playing with you in this RPG. But yeah, I would at least think where things depend solely on co-op or some sort of multiplayer where you have to work as a team together. Like Division, maybe, like all 3 of us be band together to get the 2 of us get the game for free and one of them pays. Then I think that game would be much more worth it. But yeah, just mainly co-op based games.
Okay. What? That's interesting. Well, I guess you guys would just always have to play together, though, right?
Exactly.
And then you wouldn't be able to get into. Would you be able to get into like the dark zone and PvP with everybody together like that, or?
Only if you're able to play with the same people. Like the same person, 3 people as a team. I guess that's the challenge, is mixing and matching with other people online.
Yeah.
But maybe like they limit that feature, like if you don't have the game but you're able to save your character, but you can't play the game unless you're tagging along with another player that has the game. Yeah.
Huh. Or maybe you have a guest account that just has like a general character, right? So it's one character, but whoever plays with you, that's their character. You know what I mean?
Oh, and
So
it
it's
levels
like-
that character up
Yeah.
with that person.
Yeah, and I mean they can keep their loot too, right? Like they pick up a rare machine gun or something. We all log off. I play again. I'm the one that owns the game. I play again and invite someone else. They could still use that same machine gun because that one character just keeps all that same loot. I think I see what you're saying. That'd be cool. That could like guarantee that you have someone to play with, just like with what's going on in A Way Out. Huh? That'd work, man. I think it'd be cool if Bloodborne worked out like that, where you could invite someone to play with you and they don't have to buy the game, but you guys just co-op through the whole game. I think that would be fucking great, dude. Especially with a game
through that trauma.
Yeah, especially with a game that hard. You know what I mean? Where having someone there with you through it, can help out that much more. Another one, just because I'm still kind of bitter about it, Mother Russia Bleeds. That one should have.
Oh, yeah.
That one should just have online multiplayer, period, dude.
I know. I was like, who plays local players these days?
I know.
Missing the audience.
What are we in a frat house, dude? No way, man. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure almost every game would benefit from that same system somehow. I mean, I really
Shovel
hope.
Knight. Boom.
Oh, boom! There you go. That
Yeah.
would be fun too. Yeah, if they ever like remade Streets of Rage or something to Turtles in Time, dude, that would be fucking
Yeah.
amazing, man. Yeah, dude, because these aren't like big games. You know, this isn't Call of Duty where everybody has to have a copy of the multi. This isn't Destiny where everybody has to have a copy of Destiny to play together, right? These are just like smallish, more contained story-based games where you go through an adventure with somebody. And to play alone would be kind of whack. So I hope this becomes a thing, man, because I'm thoroughly impressed with how it all worked out, dude. It was so easy. I thought too that, you know, I would have to get an email code for you. You would have to type the code in somewhere. You know what I mean? But I really just invited you. You downloaded it, and we fucking played, dude. So
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I really hope this becomes a trend, dude. But yeah, that is it for us this week. Next week, inspired by A Way Out and the multitude of mini games that were in it, we'll be talking about mini games. And these are any games within, or any, I guess, mechanics or things in a game that are different from the normal gameplay. You know what I mean? I think Rick mentioned when we were going over it, like fishing. You know what I mean? If the main thing you're doing in a game is shooting people, taking cover behind stuff, and you have a second to go and fish, and that's just a whole thing where you cast your line out and mash a button to bring it in, that counts as a mini game, dude. So we'll find our favorites, the best ones out there, the worst ones out there, the weirdest ones out there, all next week. But before then, Rick, some words of wisdom?
If you want to create a strong bond with somebody, make sure you go to prison.